Everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on 6 essential ways to increase patient engagement and satisfaction. Whether you are a single physician practice or a multiple location and provider organization, high levels of patient engagement and satisfaction are key to your long-term success. We'll be discussing tips on how you can increase patient engagement and satisfaction to create a loyal patient base. Before we get started, I want to let you know that we'll be answering questions at the end of today's webinar. Feel free to submit any questions in the Q&A section at any point in the presentation. Even if you can't make it until the end, please feel free to submit your questions to the Q&A and we'll make sure someone reaches out to you with an answer. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. First, I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Lauren Parr. I'm the product director here at Repugen, a healthcare reputation management platform that assists healthcare providers in improving their online reviews, patient acquisition, retention, and engagement. I'm also a contributing editor at the Forbes Communication Council. In today's webinar, we'll go over why patient engagement and satisfaction is so critical in this day and age, how it affects your practice and patient acquisition rates, and 6 effective ways to increase patient engagement and satisfaction. Finally, we'll wrap it up with some Q&A at the end of our session today. To start off, let's dive into why patient engagement and satisfaction are important for modern day practices. To do that, I want to go ahead and learn exactly what is patient engagement. Well, nowadays, patients are more proactive than ever in their healthcare decisions. They demand a lot more from their healthcare providers and from the patient experience as a whole, beginning from when they request an appointment to their outcomes. Makes sense, right? There are so many more options than ever before for patients. The internet has really helped with that. Imagine 20 years ago, most people went to a provider right in their neighborhood or city. But now the internet has created so much choice and has given everyone a resource to learn all about all possible diagnoses and treatment options. It's truly empowered the patient. So patient engagement is all about nurturing a strong relationship with their healthcare provider. They want to understand every aspect of their care and what their providers suggest for their treatment plans. In the end, the entire goal for patients is to work with their providers and healthcare teams to improve their treatment outcomes and results. So moving on, let's talk about patient satisfaction since it goes hand in hand with patient engagement. Like I mentioned before, patients expect more from their appointments and have a variety of options. So not only do you engage patients, but you also have to consider their satisfaction. Many people think that patient satisfaction is connected more to kind of treatment patients that the patients receive or their interactions with medical providers, but it's becoming so much more than that. I'll keep emphasizing it, but they want to be delighted with the overall experience. For example, patient satisfaction factors in pre-appointment experiences. Was the appointment easy to make? Did they speak to someone empathetic and efficient? It factors in their interactions with their front desk staff. So, for example, was the patient intake process easy? Were they able to reach the staff about billing? Were there questions about insurance answered? Additionally, patient satisfaction factors in how well they liked the office. Was it clean and well lit? Was the equipment up to date? And additionally, patient satisfaction also factors in the care that they received from their healthcare provider. So, did the provider have great bedside manner? Did they answer all the patient's questions? Did the patient feel rushed? Were their treatment options explained in detail? In the end, all of these aspects affect the patient satisfaction. Engaged patients are more proactive about their health and are more likely to be satisfied with the care they are receiving. So, satisfied patients are more likely to have better outcomes. Engaged patients will schedule routine appointments and reach out if they need care. They will also follow treatment plans and actively monitor the treatment effectiveness. They'll be more loyal and interactive with their providers. Engaged patients help build stronger relationships and loyalty to their practice. They'll even give you referrals. Having satisfied patients that refer their friends and family means you get new patients for an extremely low cost, practically for free. They also help you to increase your revenue. This includes patients with returning visits, referrals, like previously mentioned, and that they're making all of their payments. And finally, satisfied patients will also be more likely to leave you an online review and spread the word about your practice, thus increasing the chance of prospective patients choosing you and boosting your revenue more. On the other hand, poorly engaged, unsatisfied patients will also be more likely to leave negative reviews, leave your practice, and negatively affect employee morale, and even your revenue. Also, if you're spending money to acquire more patients and implement comprehensive marketing plans for your healthcare practice, all newly acquired patients should have the same satisfaction and engagement levels as your existing patients. People always focus on new patient acquisition, but forget about keeping their existing patient base happy and retaining them. Okay, so now let's dive into 6 strategies that you can implement to increase your patient engagement and satisfaction. So, before you make any changes to improve engagement, you need to understand the current state of your patient satisfaction. For tip number 1, we suggest surveying your patients after every visit and the same day they are seen, as this produces the most honest feedback and shows patients that you care what they think. Surveys are so critical to catch any current issues before they become recurring problems. You don't want new patients to experience any issues that current patients are already facing. But if you're surveying and getting feedback after every visit, you can quickly improve satisfaction levels by addressing any issues that occur. Here's an example of how we help healthcare practices and providers gauge their patient satisfaction. With Repugen's process, healthcare practices can ask patients one simple question. For example, how likely are you to recommend the provider or practice to a friend or family member? From there, the patients can rate on a scale of 0 through 10 and leave a comment after they select their score. Repugen notifies our clients of any negative feedback immediately, allowing them to reach out to patients quickly to address their concerns and hopefully retain them. Oftentimes, we find that the patient may experience a misunderstanding or there was some miscommunication. Patients truly appreciate when you reach out to them. It helps you stand out to other practices that push their patients out of the door quickly and don't address their concerns. Right, so now that you know how to survey patients and get a good gauge on where your patient satisfaction stands, let's discuss tip number 2, reviewing your patient feedback. It's critical to do this because patients will reveal a lot of issues. Some of the feedback might be based on their overall experience, like how well you diagnose, treat, and follow up on treatments, your accuracy of diagnosis. For example, inaccurate diagnosis or being careless during diagnosis might result in patients giving negative feedback. Wait times or how long the patient waited to be seen, if they had satisfactory or poor interactions with the staff, and finally, if they have issues getting referrals, billing, or other medications. As mentioned in some of our previous slides, we send notifications of negative feedback immediately, but it's just as important to understand what you are doing right. We highly recommend reviewing all feedback, whether positive or negative, so that you can get a full picture of how your team is doing and how patient satisfaction stands. Additionally, you'll want to identify any trends in your patient feedback so that you can make improvements where it's needed most and strengthen your strengths even further. For example, you can start off by categorizing your patient feedback into the following: provider experience and bedside manner, front desk interactions, wait times, billing, lab results, and other medical records. By categorizing your patient feedback, you'll be able to see trends on what your patients are typically praising or complaining about. Lastly, your healthcare practice reputation can be impacted by whether your patients recommend you to their friends and family. Negative feedback that goes unchecked will lose you your current patients and any potential new patients. So make sure you make an action plan. For example, if you're having issues with answering the phones, work with your team to create a script or put someone whose strength is answering phone calls on office phone. All right, so moving on to tip number 3, one of the easiest ways to engage patients and increase satisfaction is to remind them of their upcoming appointments. Everyone's lives get so busy, so appointments that get scheduled months in advance or sometimes even next week can get lost. Appointment and confirmation reminders can help reduce no-show rates and allows patients an easy way to reschedule appointments if they need to make adjustments. From this study, we find that appointment and conference and confirmation reminders can reduce no-show rates up to 13.6%. That's a lot of patients getting reminded to show up, or you can put another patient in their place of those that need to reschedule. Having staff call is an old school method, but you can still be extremely effective, but it'll probably not be as manageable as your practice continues to grow. We recommend using text and email reminders to ensure that your patients get their reminders in. You may be asking why. Well, because sending appointment reminders through text, email, or calls allows patients to confirm, cancel, or reschedule their appointments and reduces no-shows. Using automated reminder systems helps your staff manage their time and their work. It also helps providers focus on patients who may have questions or service requirements. And automated reminders result in well-managed waiting rooms and enhance patient comfort. And finally, reminders enable your patients to refer to information that can help them adhere to their treatment and follow-up guidelines even better. So you may be asking, ideally, how many appointment confirmation and reminders should you send out? Well, here's a recommendation. You'll need to find out what reminder schedule works best for you and your patient base, as it can vary. But our general recommendation is to send out an appointment reminder first 1 week before the appointment, and then again 3 days before the appointment, and then finally on the day of the appointment, one day. So after appointment reminders, our next tip that is up is all about newsletters. So newsletters are an excellent way to share the latest best practices in healthcare, research and in the medical industry, and any useful medical advice, keeping your patients informed and engaged in the healthcare journey. When you send out newsletters, you are also ensuring that your practice and providers stay at the top of your patient's mind. By consistently providing valuable content to your patient base, you establish yourself as a trusted source of information, reinforcing your patient's confidence in your expertise. Moreover, newsletters enable patients to easily share their valuable insights with their friends and family, extending the reach of your practice and potentially attracting new patients. This makes potential patients aware of your brand and credibility. Additionally, you'll be able to share any new offers and services that your practice is offering to all of your patients. So to make your newsletters engaging and informative, consider incorporating a few key elements. Share the latest photos of what is happening at your practice to provide a visual glimpse into your team's dedication and compassionate care. You can include links to any new blogs that you have posted, offering patients an opportunity to dive deeper into relevant topics. Additionally, you can use newsletters as a platform to send reminders for routine exams or screenings, ensuring your patients stay proactive about their health. Lastly, don't forget to provide health tips or recommendations to empower your patients to make informed decisions about their well-being. By incorporating these suggestions into your newsletters, you can cultivate stronger patient engagement, foster trust, and reinforce your commitment to delivering exceptional care. You also want to reach out to your patients about preventative and routine visits. With so much technology available, you should look at all the different options to reach out and engage patients about preventative visits. Again, this helps you engage with patients in saying, hey, it's time for your physical routine. Or another example is if you're a dentist, you can reach out and say, it's been 6 months since your last cleaning. It's time to make another appointment. It's really showing that your patients that you care about their health and you're helping them stay on top of things to ensure that they don't miss a visit. I know some practices prefer to call patients or send mail for recall patient visits, but you can automate the process through text or email. Phone calls are great, but with high volume practices, it might add some additional work for your staff. So automating the process will be much more effective in reaching out to your patients. For example, you can try using your patient portal or electronic medical record system to reach out to patients as they can often send out these reminders. Lastly, you can also work with your marketing team to create marketing campaigns focused on preventative and routine visits and send it out to patients. It'll be similar to the benefits of newsletters, but obviously more catered towards the patient's needs. All right, and finally up is tip number 6, sending out birthday and holiday cards. Patients want a customized experience. Sending personalized birthday and holiday greetings to your patients is a valuable method to enhance patient engagement. It demonstrates that you care about them beyond their medical needs and fosters a sense of connection. For example, our Refugen platform has the ability that helps our clients send out birthday e-cards when a patient's birthday comes along, or sends out holiday greetings to their patients when a holiday passes by. Taking the opportunity to send birthday greetings to your patients allows you to acknowledge their special day and make them feel valued. A simple message expressing your well wishes and gratitude for their trust and your care can really go a long way. Similarly, sending holiday greetings allows you to extend warm wishes during festive seasons. Consider including a personal touch by including a photo of you and your staff or by adding a touch of familiarity and warmth in your messaging. Remember, these gestures are not about self-promotion, but about cultivating meaningful patient relationships. By demonstrating your thoughtfulness, you strengthen patient loyalty and encourage them to actively participate in their healthcare journey. So take a moment to celebrate and connect with your patients on these special occasions. It's really the small gestures that have the greatest impact. So that's basically everything that I wanted to cover in today's webinar. Let's just do a quick recap of what we went over today. So first, we discussed how engagement and satisfaction will impact your long-term success. Higher engagement and satisfaction results higher engagement and satisfaction levels result in long patient base that will help you succeed in the long run. One of the tips that we discussed was to survey patients after their visit to help you understand satisfaction levels. We also recommend you to review both positive and negative feedback so that you can uncover where your strengths and weaknesses are. Make sure you work with your staff to create an action plan to correct any issues. We also recommend using appointment confirmations and reminders to increase your engagement and reduce no-shows. This helps to make patients ensure that their appointments are received and that they can get their care when needed. We also recommend using newsletters and text and email blasts to let patients know about the latest healthcare news, share tips to live a healthier lifestyle, and to recall patients for critical routine exams. Lastly, we talked about sending birthday and holiday greetings as it's an effective and simple method of reaching out to patients while also keeping your practice at the top of their mind. All right, so as we wrap up on our webinar and patient engagement strategies, I want to share an exciting opportunity with you. Building on the topic of automated birthday and holiday e-cards, I'm pleased to announce that we currently have a special going on in the month of July. We understand the importance of nurturing your patient relationships, and we want to support your efforts with our exceptional services here at Refugen. So for a limited time, when you subscribe to our core plan, we are offering our automated birthday and holiday e-card solution completely free of charge. These solutions typically have a value of $228 per provider per year. But if you sign up in the month of June, this will be an added bonus that you'll get with your core plan for completely free. This means that you can effortlessly send those personalized greetings on their birthday and holidays to your patients, really strengthening those vital connections without any additional cost. Additionally, we're so confident in the effectiveness of Refugen that we're also backing our July promotion with a 200% money back guarantee. So that basically means if you sign up with Refugen, within 90 days, if you don't see improvements in your online reputation, then you'll not only get a full refund, but you'll get twice the amount of money that you invested back in your refund. We're really committed to helping you to enhance your patient engagement and satisfaction and improve your reputation. So we really stand behind our platform's ability to deliver those results. So I just want to invite you to consider integrating Repugen into your practice and take advantage of this opportunity to enhance your patient engagement strategies. By incorporating automated birthday and holiday e-cards into your current system, you can demonstrate thoughtfulness and care and really enrich the patient experience. All right, so finally, I want to go ahead and tell you a little bit about ourselves here at Repugen. So, Repugen is an all inclusive reputation management platform that can help you to get more online reviews, recover unhappy patients, and build an overall healthy online reputation. We also offer additional services to assist with patient engagement, leveraging your reputation with marketing solutions, monitoring and improving your patient satisfaction, and much more. If Repugen interests you or if you want to find out more about our July promotion, you can email us at info@repugen.com or feel free to visit our website at www.repugen.com to learn more, and feel free to fill out any of our forms there and our team can reach out to you to assist with any questions or onboarding information that you would like to learn more about. Alrighty, so that is everything I wanted to go through in our webinar today. So I will go ahead and open the floor to see if we have any questions. Alrighty, so we did have one question come in. It says, can you explain again what the importance is of reviewing both positive and negative feedback? Yeah, of course. So it's always a good idea to review negative feedback from patients so that you're able to see really what went wrong and to come up with a game plan so that you can improve your practice based on that negative feedback. Especially if you see that that negative feedback is a trend where, patients are constantly complaining about the wait time, for example. Also, when you reach out to patients who've left negative feedback, you're able to really stand out from other practices, and show your patients that you truly care and that you want to resolve their issue and uh, ultimately improving your patient retention rate and recovery rate. So, additionally, on the other hand of the spectrum, reviewing your positive feedback is great as well because you're really able to see what your practice is doing well on and what you should continue to do and continue to strengthen upon. Okay, another question we got in, can I go over the importance of newsletters? Yeah, of course. So newsletters are important because they're really a great way to share the latest and best practices and medical advice with patients. And really that's to help keep them engaged and informed. When a patient receives your newsletter by email or text, they're really reminded of your services and keeps you at the top of their mind. Additionally, they can share your newsletter and insights with different people and potentially help you to get even more patients and ultimately grow your patient base. Okay, and another one we got says, can you talk about how to make sure newsletters are interesting for patients? Yeah, absolutely. So one way that we recommend to make sure that your newsletter is engaging is by, in addition to what I spoke about before, is including photos. So pictures really speak a thousand words, and if your patient sees the latest photos of what's happening in your practice, they're able to visually see your team's compassion and care, and also just remember, hey, that's a friendly face that I saw on my last visit. Maybe I should make an appointment, right? Another good way to ensure your newsletter is informative and interesting is by adding links to any like blogs that you may have recently published. Again, this really allows patients to read more into different topics they may be interested in and boost your credibility and allows them to stay engaged in their healthcare experience. Okay, another question. What was the tip for when to send appointment reminders again? Yes, I'm happy to remind that. So, our general tip here at Epigen is to send appointment reminders 1 week before the appointment, then 3 days before the appointment, and lastly, 1 day before the appointment. That is kind of our default recommendation. But again, it will depend on your patient base, what actual cadence works best for you and your patients, but recommend testing out that cadence first and seeing how it works for you. Okay, looks like we got a follow-up question to the appointment reminders. Thanks for answering. Can you go over the significance of appointment reminders again? Absolutely, yeah. So appointment reminders can really benefit a practice in many different ways. So, like I mentioned before, studies show that appointment reminders help reduce no-show rates by up to, I believe it was 13.6%. By incorporating this feature, practices are really able to keep their appointment book full by seeing, who has confirmed their appointment for the day or who's requesting to cancel their appointment. And aside from this, appointment reminders help to keep the waiting room times and really allows patients to experience more comfort since you will know who's going to be showing up and who won't be showing up for the day or the week. I also want to add that phone calls for appointment reminders are effective, but will be less manageable as your business grows. So we really recommend using an automated reminder system to help you with this that sends out text and email. And that's really important as well because studies show that patients are actually more responsive to text nowadays than they are to phone calls. Alrighty, I'll just give one more minute to see if there's any more questions. Alrighty, thank you for joining us today. It seems like there's no more questions, so I hope that you found this webinar informative and valuable in your journey to improve your patient engagement and satisfaction. Feel free to reach out to us to get more details about our July special offer and how Repugen can support your practice. I've added my direct email on the slide and also our company email. Feel free to reach out to us directly, and our website and phone number is on the slide as well. Feel free to jot down those information so that you're able to learn more about our current promotions and how Repugen can support your practice. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.